It's confirmed, guys. Confirmed. Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be the Leicester City manager. That is right. Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be the Leicester City manager. Get your views in, get your comments in. This is big news. Yes, the club hasn't confirmed, but every other journalist around Leicester has confirmed it. I will show you after the intro. Get your views in, get your comments in. This is big news. Let's get straight into it. Yes, guys. As you can see, Ruud van Nistelrooy is confirmed to be the Leicester City manager. I'll get your views and get your comments in. I'm just going to try and get some of the pictures up. I will try and get it on here. Let me very quickly get the pictures up just so I can show you. I'll save that there, and I'll save the other one as well. There you go. Add it into the show. Yes, I'll get your comments in a minute, guys. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about now, so you can see. As you can see here, Mr. Fabrizio Romano says Ruud van Nistelrooy set to be completed and appointed as Leicester City head coach. Agreement done and documents being signed for his camp. Brilliant. And as well, the main man that people talk about in this area, as you can see here, Ruud van Nistelrooy set to be appointed as the Leicester City manager. Expected confirmation soon. Story with Sam Wallace. Obviously, not confirmed by the club, but big news, and this is what everybody wants to hear. Leicester City have confirmed, as of now, that Ruud van Nistelrooy is coming to the club. I will put the link out there for anyone who wants to join and get their views on this appointment. Big one for everyone to hear from. And we'll get a few comments in. Let's go Foxes. Yes, brilliant. Luke, no. But as John Percy does say, I'll bring it back up again, that it will be confirmed by the club, expecting confirmation soon. So this will be out very shortly, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, but big news has to come out tonight, as in has to be announced tonight by us. It's big news, so get your views and get your comments in. Andy Downing says great news. Of course it is, mate. Gray says Van Nistelrooy, tra la 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 la. Yep, of course, always brilliant to hear. Harry says, we no more war crime performances. Get in. It's what we want to see, isn't it? Good fucking football. And yes, it's not past the watershed, but it is what it is. What a signing. Scarlett says, Rudy. Yep. David also says, Ruud. Can't wait for it, mate. Can't wait for it. In Ruud we trust. Yes, we do, mate. Yes, we do. Keith says it'll be more fun with Moyes. More fun than Moyes. Of course it will, mate. Of course it will. Of course it will. Gray says he will give us an identity again and believe he will keep us up. I believe so, mate, as well. Don't get me wrong. If the inevitable happens, not inevitable, sorry. It's never going to be inevitable. If the case happens where we do get relegated with Ruben van Nistelrooy, then people are going to be like, "Oh, shouldn't have sacked Cooper, should you?" No, I don't care, mate. I do not care one bit. Craig Pearson here says, well, I'd like him at Leicester 30 years ago. Probably, but then again, would Vardy have done what he did here? I don't know. But let's see what everyone else is saying. Rodrev says, party! That's what we want to see, isn't it, mate? Can't wait for it. Scarlett also says here, did amazing at PSV, but has he got what it takes to win a relegation battle? Maybe he has to be in that relegation battle, mate. As of now, and I will say this, just to put it out there, right now, we are not in a relegation battle. Later in the season, if we're still in the same position, maybe so. But this is where I think and the opportunity is to push up and get that gap gone before we even get to like the middle part of the season, where you can not worry about being in that bottom far race. Greg also says, wonder what formation he's going to use. From what we've seen and what I've kind of researched, he plays a 4-2-3-1 slash the Enzo style, the 3-5-2, 3-5-1-2, or the 3-4-2-1. I don't know. But it's good. It's good. We are in a relegation battle. Ivan! Stop thinking like that, mate. Stop thinking like that. Right now, we're not. Later in the season, if we're still 17th or 16th, maybe so. But there's still a chance we can really get away from these bottom three, because at the moment, them bottom three have got some hard fixtures coming up. Yes, we have too, but hopefully that's the case. Josh here says, excellent appointment, will build on Maresca's foundations. Well, the foundations that got absolutely demolished to get rebuilt, maybe so. Get the tactics bus out, really. That's going to be tomorrow, mate. Tomorrow is going to be the team we get the teams out. And you never know, there might be a lot of changes coming into tomorrow's team now Ruud Van Nistelrooy is in charge. Ray here says, got to play more attacking football now, please. I think you'd say it would be. Don't get me wrong, you don't want to be going all guns blazing, but hopefully we'll get it. Mark says we still need quality in the window. We do. I'd say that, but I'd rather give the money to Ruud Van Nistelrooy than give Cooper the money. So I think that's a dead certain. Again, anybody wants to come on to get their views in, I will put it in the chat one more time. I can see Gray's trying to join, but I'm guessing his connection's not great. I'll just put it in the chat. Join if you want your say. Bang, 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 bang. Want your say. Top tour the players the new arsehole for their party antics. Good to hear. Good to hear. I did see that in the chat. I will try and find that. But yeah, it looks like Top's going a bit of a rant at them because of how they did that in there. Oh, sorry, Gray. Yeah, try. Maybe just use your phone. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Clibo's John, I'll bring you in a minute, mate. Costas here says, especially for Leicester team, when does the transfer window start? I think January at some point. I couldn't tell you what date, but January definitely. Jason here says, Ruben Van Nistelrooy will probably have more pulling power for players than Cooper. Definitely, mate. I think that's definite. He is a player that, well, he's a manager now, but he was a player that was obviously big in his time, and coming into the Leicester now, there's many more players that have got more quality and would want to join a Ruud Van Nistelrooy team than a Cooper team or than a Moisey team. So I agree with that. I think that's a good say as well. So glad he's not Moise. I agree, mate. Again, don't get me wrong. Out of the 3 or 4 managers that are kind of rumoured, he was the safest option, but you would have probably got the same football as what Cooper got. So it's just not. It wasn't the most enjoyable football that we would have seen, but he would have kept us a bit more safer at the back. And then the last comment before we bring Clibo on is Rude from Lead. And then Bradley says, hi, Reedy. Hello. We'll bring Clibo in now. Clibo, mate, how you doing?
All right, yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
What's your opinion on Nick Ruud?
For me, Ruud was my first choice a while ago. Even a lot of people were saying, the standard ones. But I always felt that the PSR thing was going to be an issue in terms of paying compensation. Now, there's a few points with Ruud, and I think something that's been overlooked is to survive and be a progressive Premier League club, you have to have an identity outside of your own country. You want to see people in Thailand wearing Leicester shirts. And I think he's a great figurehead for that. He's world renowned. He's a very respected man in football. He looks the part as well. I think he's going to identify where the strikers need the service, which is something that's been sadly lacking. I felt very, very sorry for Jamie Vardy of recent times. Often you're just running around like a headless chicken, which at his age, it's not really the thing that you would expect a 37-year-old striker to do. Maybe you can get a tune out of Daka as well. I'm a bit like you, Rudy, with Daka. I do feel sorry for him. There is talent there, and I don't care what anyone says. If you score 4 goals in a European level game, you have got some talent there. It's just somebody needs to bring it out. The top players have that consistency, so maybe it's just a consistency thing.
Well, now we're bringing in a manager that has experience being a striker. Like you said, Vardy could be even improved than what he is at the moment, for how old he is, and now Daka as well. Maybe showing a bit of the ropes and how you actually progress with your quality. Maybe you could see.
Absolutely. I mean, you can teach an old dog new tricks. I don't think Vardy's ever going to be as explosive as he was,
Uh,
but it's like Lineker. I mean, Lineker was a lazy sod. I started going down when Lineker was down at City. He was a lazy sod, but in all fairness, he knew exactly where to be. And I think as Vardy's getting older, that's the role that he needs to be playing. So the support from the midfield, and in terms of defence. I mean, I saw him against Chelsea. I mean, he had about 4 touches, and one of them was launching it out of the area. I'd truly tried with Cooper, but I just had enough. And when I saw that, there was just no way forward for me. When you try, when you see somebody and he's kind of got that, you feel a bit sorry for him because people are saying horrible things like about his appearance and things like that. I don't agree with any of that. All I want somebody to do is come in and show their best for the club. And I think he did do his best, but he's a very limited manager. And I wish him all the best. But I'll be honest with you, I wanted him out of the club for the right reasons. I think for him, the longer this went on, the worse his career would have been. And I think he's still got enough credit as a manager to be able to go and get a reasonable club somewhere. And, that's really all I want to say on Cooper. But I think going forward, Ruud is an exciting signing. I just hope we're not paying the 10 million that we used to pay Rodgers, because that could be bad if we end up in the Championship, which I'm hoping we're not, of course.
Yeah, of course. Welcome, Phil.
All right, Phil.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm good. What's your take on this? Because it's kind of been announced. It's not been fully announced, but it is basically confirmed. So what's your take on this one, mate?
Yeah, I think it pretty has been. This is how things come out now, isn't it? I think the people who are in the know, the people we trust, like John Percy, have said it is happening and it is about to be announced and all that. So I think we're taking it that is the deal and it's going to be done. So I think the best bit of news from my point of view, really, is that it's Wednesday night. It's took a little bit longer than I hoped it would be, but actually Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. There's a chance he's going to be in there tomorrow, maybe making some decisions. He may even look after the team on Saturday. So that's the best bit of news for me, is that it's happened quickly, fairly quickly.
Yeah, you would hope so. Again, if you're in charge Wednesday, you could start to at least get a bit of a picture in what he wants to show and what his philosophy is going into the club on Saturday. At least we've hopefully got a manager by Saturday this time, instead of waiting 2 or 3 weeks for it. But what is your take on Ruud van Nistelrooy? And obviously, I don't know if you've seen much of his football from the few games at Man United and then past with PSV, but like about me, I prefer to see a style of play. I prefer to see a better progressive football, because then I'd say in return you would get better results. But what's your take on him? Because again, you said he like anyone other than Moyes or Potter was a gamble, wasn't it? So what's your take? Because would you prefer someone like Ruud to maybe someone that we've never even heard of? I don't know. What's your take on that?
No, I definitely prefer Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's a big name, so yeah, I'm pleased we've got him. He is the sort of name we need to get. So I've got to go, really, but I just wanted to say it's good news. We've got a manager sorted. That's exactly what we needed to get this quick. Okay.
Yeah. No
So
worries.
that's
Cheers,
good
money,
news.
mate.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. So, right, Clibo. Back to the news, obviously, with the likes of Vardy, like we've already spoke about, with the likes of Daka. What do you think his style of play will come into it? Because we've been saying that we do want a bit more of a better football, and I think the club have been looking into getting a better style of play, and that's the main thing about it. They want more of a progressive style of play. They went into Enzo. We showed that how well we could do with that. Yes, it was the championship, but I think a majority of fans. Yes, there was some fans that still wasn't a big fan of how Enzo played, but there was progression there, and then you went back to Cooper, and it just went, in my eyes, went very much backwards. Now we've hopefully got another manager that's kind of going back to the style of Enzo. What's your kind of take on the way we're going to be playing? Do you think that's going to keep us up?
I don't. Well, briefly on the Enzo thing. I mean, I was. There were times last season where I thought a plan B was needed. And I think, particularly, I was at the QPR game, and I just went out of there shaking my head. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, you could predict what was happening. I don't think Ruud will play. I think it'll be a very gradual process, and I think it's going to need to be defensively sorted out first. I mean, I think I was talking to my nephew about this today. I think a five at the back is something that he's probably going to have to look at. And for me, in a back three, you would probably want a leader. You would want, somebody who can shout, like a leader, somebody who can pass the ball out the back, and somebody who's fast. And I think those three players, for me, don't shoot me, everyone, but I think Cody, Okoli, and Vestergaard are the three. I'm not certain that Wout Fass will be too popular if he continues some of the mistakes he's making and some of his verbal on the pitch, because he just seemed a bit of a mardy git at times. But that'd be a back three. It's how you play wing backs. But I do think he'll sort the defence out. And I know a lot of people were kind of umming and ahhing about, the guy's got a nice progressive style. But I do think he's adaptable. And I think while he was when he was in Holland, I don't think he had too bad of a defensive record. But again, it's about commanding respect and doing as you're told. I don't think the players were doing that so much under Cooper. I think they had it was inbuilt into them. Like, I don't know about you, but I was seeing passes out from the back, for instance. The players were instinctively passing places where players were not. And they were in this confused state. Their instincts would have passed there because under Enzo, somebody would have been there. So I think he's got to do it very slowly, I think. But I think that will come like it did under Enzo. But I also think that you can't go gung ho. If he gets announced tomorrow and he has a bit of time with the club, I think he will just talk to the guys. He will spend a bit of time with the coaching staff. But I think it will be over between now and Christmas. You'll start to see a bit more of an identity, which we didn't really have under Cooper, to be fair.
We'll hopefully get you on at the point.
Sorry, mate, you are broken up really badly there.
Oh, okay. Well, just saying, appreciate you coming on, and we'll catch you on another show.
Yeah, nice one. Take it easy.
And we've got another guest. We'll get him in. Hello, Jamie. How are you doing? Can everyone hear me? Can people hear me now? Can people hear me now? Anyone hear me? He's back. Can you hear me? My audio is probably crap now. I'm using this awful microphone. Please tell me if my audio is crap. But yes, get your views and get your comments in. I apologize for that. I was trying to sort my technical issues out, but we couldn't end it when we've got over 1,000 people in here talking about Leicester City. So yeah, get your views and get your comments in. Adam Clark says here, yes, you can hear me. Can't hear. Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, all good. Let me put my headphones back on because I might need to be hearing people. But yes, right. Oh no, he's back. Van shut you down. Hopefully, mate. What backroom staff is Ruud bringing in? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Let me make sure my audio is very, very loud. No, okay, it's fine. I don't know. We don't know that of now. We probably will be getting that when it's announced from the actual club. Jamie, if you can, I can hear you. I can see you. I'll bring you on. Jamie.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you, mate.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Can people hear Jamie? See if you sort your settings out. I don't know if you can. We could hear you before.
I can hear you.
You can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's your mic settings then. Maybe change your mic settings. We'll bring you back in a minute. Can you hear over the other Jamie? Oh God, here we go. They can hear you. 1 second. Jamie?
Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. It's my fault. Sorry. Go on, mate. This has been a mess, but come on, get your views and get your comments in. This has been.
Well, literally, I've just come on because I've seen we've gone live that John Percy and Fabrizio have said he's going to be manager. So I don't actually know. I've been watching something on TV with the missus, having a bit of a night off from the football because of the weekend and that. And then all of a sudden, I quickly looked at my phone and it's all gone mad. So I don't 100% know what's going on. I know Ruud looks like he's going to be the manager, but has it been officially confirmed? Or I'm not 100% sure. So you've got to tell me.
So by the club, no. But we spoke to the boss, as in Philip, and I said, do we go live? Because everywhere on Twitter, obviously on the socials, has been announced by people who are very, very in the know of Leicester City. As you can see here, Fabrizio Romano, who isn't your best friend, says Ruud van Nistelrooy.
John Percy. John Percy.
I know. I've got another one as well, but it says Ruud van Nistelrooy is set to be appointed as the new Leicester City head manager or head coach. Sorry, agreement done. Documents being signed by the camp. And also here with John Percy says Van Nistelrooy is set to be appointed as the new Leicester City manager, expecting the confirmation soon. Story with the person who got told as well. But that's what I'm saying. Both of the people here have said that it's been announced basically, other than the club saying it's done. What's your take on this, man? Because we know that I don't know if you're the biggest fan of Cooper's style compared to Enzo's style, but it's more going back to now the Enzo style of football than Cooper's style of football. What's your take on this Ruud news, Jamie?
This Ruud news, you mean? Well, evening, Tom. How are you? This Ruud news. I think we needed a new. Yes, I know. I wasn't a Cooper fan. I wanted Potter. Sorry, I was a Cooper fan and I backed him, but I wanted Graham Potter to start off with. But you could see things were going wrong. Things were happening behind the scenes, on the pitch, you name it, they were going wrong. And after seeing the actual game live on Saturday and the crowd's reaction before and after the game, I think it was time for a change. Yes, Ruud is a pretty highbrow appointment, which is probably good for the club. The only thing that I'm hoping for is he sticks with us. And if he does a decent job for us, he doesn't get poached. That's the only thing. Yeah. Other than that, I'm looking forward to seeing this brand of football that he played. It's meant to be more. Tom's probably know because he's a bit more tactical now than the other two put together. His kind of style, he might have to alter it from when he was at Holland to us. He might have to alter it from when he was at Man U to us because the amount of players. But I'm not too sure. Tom, what about style-wise? I'm not really up on his style of play.
It's all about front foot. It's all about getting on the front foot, getting ball forward quickly, breaking through the lines and channels. It isn't going to be tippy tappy. He's all about going to move that ball as quick as we can from front to back, get the wingers involved. What wingers we've got left, and linking up in and around the area. I think we saw that in the 2 games, in the cup game especially, how quickly he got the ball wide and how quick they were throwing balls into the box. He's not going to be mucking around with the inverted fullbacks and all those kind of things. He's literally probably going to set himself up to have a solid back 4, a solid midfield 3, and a solid 3 going forward. I think he'll play very much 4-3-3, and he's all going to be about attack. That's what he's going to be his thing. As I said this season, I think Cooper had done a little bit more of that. Our best, form of defence was attacking football, and when we did do it, we looked all right. But for some reason, we didn't do enough of it. And I think Van Nistelrooy will come in and be attacking minded and not sit back and won't let oppositions come and sit onto us. Because you look at the game against in the cup game, he didn't sit back. He wasn't bothered about Leicester having the ball or creating chances. The first thing was get the ball forward and pile on.
Yeah, perfect. Tom, as we were speaking about Ruud, there's a lot of comments about how will he play and whatnot, like you just mentioned. But what's your do you think he'll keep us up with how he comes in? Because like I say, we didn't have really an identity with Cooper, and me and you both saw that. But do you obviously it's not going to come in straight away. We all know that it probably won't come in within the game or two. It's going to take a bit of time, but do you see his style of play and him coming in with the January transfer window as well, with how he's probably a bigger name than Cooper now and maybe can get maybe a better quality players in? Do you see this being in a good way or a bad way? Hopefully the good way anyway.
It has to be a good thing. I mean, you could talk about the size of the manager, as in Cooper and Ruud, and differences. Cooper, obviously, he did well at under 17 level, won a World Cup, and he did well coaching wise. But again, like I said, coach and manager are 2 different things. Van Nistelrooy is a very young, exciting manager. He's only had 63 games or something in total in his managerial career, 5 at Man U and the rest at PSG. PSV at Eindhoven. It's one of those. He's an exciting prospect. Again, will he take it? For 5 games for Man U doesn't really make a difference. Who they're playing. Obviously, 2 against Leicester in those games, but one of them was Chelsea, and he still managed to get a team that was conceding goals for fun under Ten Hag to get a 1-1 draw against Chelsea and played pretty well. Some will say they hung on in the end, but he still set them up right. And I think the players will probably react better to him than they did Steve Cooper, because who he is, the aura of the man. We're talking about a man who went and played for some of the biggest clubs in the world. Yes, Man United, but there's Real Madrid on that list. The likes of Vardy and that lot, the first thing we'll be thinking, wow, we've got a manager here. And obviously we played against Ruud van Nistelrooy, I think it was when he was the Eindhoven manager anyway. So we obviously know a little bit how they played. But for Top to go out and get this deal done, I think it just shows you Top has taken a bit of control back as well in this football club, because I think he's left people to their own devices. I think they've left to run the football club, and he suddenly realised, yes, that the players didn't help themselves with the performances this season, but I think he realised that actually Cooper wasn't the manager they thought they were going to get. And I think he's gone, well, sod it, we need something exciting. We need to try to get a buzz back around the place, because I think he would have saw on Saturday, as Jamie said, the atmosphere around the ground was, well, it was awful. There wasn't an atmosphere. Even the UNIF boys were very quiet. And for them to be quiet, it just shows you how poor the game was. I think Top has suddenly gone, I need to get a buzz back. And Van Nistelrooy certainly breathes that buzz. And January, like I said on Monday night, the name alone might be able to attract a few more players that we wouldn't even think about to go. I mean, we're talking about strikers. Ferguson at Brighton's going to be available in January. Now, if the Cooper was there, you probably wouldn't have a sniff. But if you're Ferguson for them, you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, Van Nistelrooy at Leicester, wow, can go and work on one of the greatest Premier League goal scorers in the Premiership and learn off him. Yeah, I might want to do that. So he will have a pull. I don't know what obviously our spending power is going to be, but I think Top has really made a statement if this manager comes in, and hopefully we find out in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Andy Sheba, obviously it's a bit of a weird one, but Vards will be thinking, hey, I took your record. What's anyone's take on this? I know it's not the biggest thing, but to say that a few years ago he took his record for scoring 11 in 11 games, and now the manager who he took it off is going to be our manager. Do
But
you think? Go on.
When he walks into training, first thing tomorrow morning or Friday morning, whatever, is Vardy going to walk up to him and just go, "It's all mine, it's all mine," like he did when he celebrated?
Maybe.
I think there'll be mutual respect there, definitely. And I think I said Vardy. I think him will get on well. They're good personalities there. Like I say, I think sadly Vardy walked over Cooper in some ways. Like I said the other night to Cooper, you can't keep saying your players are he's the man. Well, Ruud won't have that. Ruud is not going to stand there in front of the camera and say Vardy's the man. Ruud's going to say he's one of my players now, and he'll do what he's told him to me. I think you'll find.
Yeah, exactly like that. Gray here says 2 greatest Premier League strikers. True. Go on then, Jamie. Obviously, you were. I don't know if you were actually on the Cooper out train by the time he did go, but do you think? Do you think this is a positive move? Because again, like Tom says, it is a lot of fans wanting him out. But do you think getting someone like Ruud van Nistelrooy in instead of keeping Cooper is maybe a better move than we probably could have? Or would you have preferred someone like a Moyes?
It's a positive move that might give us the old, not bounce back ability that the new manager bounce, win a few games, get a bit of confidence in backing the team, which is what we were seriously lacking after the 12 league games we've had. That might help us out. I think Cooper had lost his way a little bit. I was backing him and hoping and praying, like I said on Saturday, that he could see us out of this situation. But when a new manager comes in, yes, there is that new manager bounce, and we get 1 or 2 wins. The style of play that you've been gagging for all the time is a lot better. And the confidence comes back. Football is a lot to do with confidence as well. You've got training, confidence. It's not, and the actual game itself. They're the ones, and the confidence is a big thing. It's shown with a lot of players. When you get confidence, then you can beat anybody on the day, and that's what you need. I think that's what we're seriously lacking: confidence. And if some of them players get confidence, then it will be. But like you say, the new manager bounce will help 100%. If he gets the time training wise for the weekend, I don't know if he comes in tomorrow. He might be there tomorrow. He might be signed tonight. He's there tomorrow. He gets 2 days training. I know it's not the best, but he can get some ideas over. He gets some ideas over in his formation. What are you laughing at?
Somehow Tom's getting bubbles on his phone because he's putting his thumbs up on his down below. Tom, obviously we've been talking about his style of play and whatnot, but with Scarlett's coming here, she said she just watched the masterclass post she put up and looked very tactical manager, echoes of Enzo. With Brentford coming up now, and obviously then you've got West Ham, Newcastle, and Wolves, I think. Now we've got a different manager. I know we've got a limited team at the moment, but do you see many kind of swaps around with this team? Because a new manager might mean different players. He might not like the likes of Christiansen. He might not like the likes of Winks, or might maybe not like Skip or Imdi and Didi. What do you think this team is going to be looking like coming into this game now?
First, it depends when he gets appointed. He might not want to be on the bench at the weekend. He might want to sit in the stands for this one and go, look, let me watch it. Let me look what you can do. If that's the case, I'd already thought about this week and how we probably set up. And in my head, I think the players will take a lot of control on this and possibly go back to the way they were playing last season under Enzo, because no one's there to actually tell them what to do. I could see it going back very much to the Enzo style of play. And Scarlett said, Ruud is very technical. He will bring in a way and a structure of playing and how he wants the team to move the ball around the park and through the final thirds and break teams. And I think this weekend, I just think Ruud probably will, if he does get a point, he'll be in the dressing room, give them a bit of a, go and show them what you can do, boys. You want to play in this team, you want to be playing week in, week out for me, then you got to show me what you boys can made of. And in some ways, Brentford would be probably more scared of us now because there's nothing to lose for us at the weekend with Ruud coming in. If we lose, it's not going to be like, oh, wow, Van Nistelrooy lost his first game, because Ruud's not had any time to work with this group of players. I think you'll find Ruud will probably be more like sit in the stand and watch this one, see what happens, and the players will take full control on it. I totally believe. I won't be surprised, and I'll say it now, if Hamza Trousi starts at the weekend at right back. And we play the inverted, and we play the inverted fullback role again, and we play, and then he plays JJ left back. He plays Vestergaard and Faz, and he goes back to the system we were playing last year. what the players know and see if we can get that to click again just for the one game. Then obviously Ruud comes in on Monday and we build up to the game on Tuesday night very quickly. So he hasn't got much time to work with the players in the next, 4 days, but with 2 games coming up very quickly. But he'll start to get his message over. I can't see him, I think play on Saturday, the boys will be in on Sunday. I can guarantee that now. And Ruud will probably sitting there showing them clips of how he played and PSV and how he wants them to play. So it's exciting times. It really is. Look, David Moyes was my first choice. Let's not get it wrong. He was my first choice. But we've got nothing to lose here now with Van Nistelrooy. That's the biggest thing. We have nothing to lose. It is a free hit. It might not work out. But it's an exciting appointment. The fans have cried for it. There's fans already moaning on it, saying he's going to go the same way as Lampard, Gerrard and Rooney. He's not a manager. He's not got a bad record. So let's give him a go. It's exciting and it's different.
Thing is, as well, people saying, go on, Jamie.
Really, before I go, it's not only going to be Leicester City that benefits, it's going to be another Leicester company next. The amount of people going to buy black turtleneck jumpers for Tuesday nights.
Yeah, you'll see a few of them coming on Saturday if he's announced before.
I've got to go now, but yeah, it's great that we looks like if I know I don't like Fabrizio and I love John Percy, but both have said it. So if Percy says it, it's got to be true. It really has. So yeah, we've just got to build on this and go forward now, and we've got to forget the last 12 games, start a new fresh from either Saturday or Tuesday, wherever he starts, and build on it. And that's what we've got to go. And we've all got to back him. Not like we've just done. We've all got to back him and get behind him. And this could be the one we need, the impetus that we need, get behind him. Somebody that gives us that bit of je ne sais quoi, as they say, and just enough to give us and that crowd and that bit more excitement in the games.
Definitely. Yeah, credit to the club.
I was a bit worried because on the Sunday night when it happened, we all thought, it's going to be announced tomorrow. Something's going to be happening. But Wednesday, Thursday is not too bad. It's not too bad, but it's still the same. But it's come on, you Foxes. And you know what? I'll see you all Tuesday night for Ruud's first game.
Maybe second game. Never know.
First home game. Home game.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. Right. See you in a bit, Jamie. Appreciate you coming on.
Right. See you later. Be good. See you later.
Tom, I was just about to say about you were saying about his record, Ruud van Nistelrooy's record. People were saying, you can't really judge it on PSV and now only 4 games with Man United. But I always look at that when I saw Ruud's name come up and I said, it's kind of like Pearson before Ranieri came in. He built that squad for them to then progress. And the year after he left, they won the league. PSV won the league. So in my eyes, yes, the manager who came in probably did a lot more to win him the league, but it's how it started. And I think that's maybe where Ruud comes in and does that job, because you can't just say because it's in the Dutch league, it's nowhere near the level. I always think it's down to the style of play, and that's what starts hopefully the progression of the results and whatnot come on. So what's your take on that? Because again, there's still a lot of people saying about he's not good enough.
I think you got to look at the bigger impact this will have on the league as well. Not just Leicester. If you're Southampton, you're Ipswich, you're Everton, any of those teams around us at the moment, you're Palace, and you're going, Leicester pulled the trigger after 12 games. They weren't mucking around. They've gone and got a manager they wanted or thinks that can turn this around. I mean, Southampton have kept faith with Russell Martin, but how long before they start thinking of, we're going to have to change it now? Well, there's one candidate gone. He might have been not first choice, but there's one candidate on. If you're Ipswich and you're suddenly thinking, we're getting draws and we keep getting draws, Leicester just got another manager now. If they go and get a couple of, decent results, they're going to pull away for us quite quickly. It will probably see other teams around us think, right, a couple of bad results, probably not Ipswich, but especially Southampton and especially Palace. If we get a couple of wins and they get a couple of losses, I won't be surprised that other teams start firing their managers, because they're going to try and get the bounce and build on it. So it could be massive for where we could finish the season. Not getting carried away. The target will obviously be 17th place, 16th, staying up. But this pointing this manager and letting him build, so it could be really, really exciting for him and for us, because I generally think he will bring something to his team. I've said before, the squad is capable enough of staying up. I'm not getting carried away. I think we're going to be challenging for the Europe and stuff, but there's enough quality in that team. Obviously, we've lost a massive threat in Abdul for the season. That was our biggest threat in my view. But January comes and we re-strength again, and by that point, we're another 8 games in. Hopefully, Ruud gets his messages into the players and he'll have his targets. I mean, I'm not be surprised if the board. I've already said to him, who would you want to bring in? What are we looking at, cash flow wise, when they interviewed him? Because they're going to know what his vision is and how many players he's going to be wanting to bring into his football club, of course.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Let's see other comments coming in. Greg here says, first Dutch manager, mate. The Dutch managers that have come into this league recently have been quite good, so you never know. Say, what's his name he's on to Liverpool? Yes, he has a bit more experience, but he's doing well so far. And I said at the start of the show, Tom, that as much as people disagreed with me, I said that right at this moment, I'd say we aren't in the relegation battle just yet because it's not far enough in the season to say we're there yet. But I'd say that if this manager comes in and does well, we might not ever have to worry about trying to escape this bottom 6. I'm not saying to be top 10, but you might want to be in that situation where you're 6 or 7 or even 10 points clear of that bottom 3, and you're not having to worry about it and have no pressure on to just be anywhere near that role. Because I think if you get a manager in like Ruud van Nistelrooy and he starts doing well, you could in the next couple of weeks be 6 to 9 points off the likes of Palace or Wolves. So what's your take on that? Because again, I don't think we're in a relegation battle as of now because it's too close to start of the season. But what's your take?
I think the reason you're now saying this is really is because Cooper's gone. If Cooper was here, then you would be saying we're in a relegation battle. It just shows you a difference that a different manager coming in can do to your spirits, because I'd be saying the same thing.
I'm excited for Saturday, mate. That's all I know.
I think Ruud won't be saying to players, you're looking down. No, you're looking up. You look forward. We don't look backwards. We don't look over our shoulders. We'll keep playing the way I want us to play. We'll see what results we get. If things aren't working, I think the difference is if things aren't working and he can't get a tune out of the players the way he wants to play, he won't hesitate to look at it and see how he can change it. I think that's the difference. Cooper he didn't have any style of play. We didn't see any identity or systems that he wanted to play working. And by the sound of it, I think the players were bored of it all. Well, I think Ruud will come in, he'll bring excitement to the training. I think he'll bring excitement to the way he wants to try and get this team to play. And I think if he didn't think he could keep the team up, I don't think he'd even come here, mate. No. It's his reputation on the line at the end of the day. This is his first proper big job in the Premier League. I mean, there's any fear that they were going to get relegated with him and that he could tarnish it and he's got to go into the Championship manage. He might not even think about it. I generally think he can see enough with the squad of players he's got to be excited and looking up the league. Like I say, not carried away, but a couple of wins, you still pull away and you could be 17th, 16th, but you could be 5-6 points clear of them. So, yeah, he's not here to sit around. He's going to be here to be looking up the table, not down. And like you say, for me now, I don't look at it as a relegation scrap. I look at it as, right, let's get 1 foot forward. Let's get that first win, and then we move on. And then we move on again to the next win or the next draw. But no looking backwards. But I don't think he's the kind of manager to sit and let the players look backwards. I think he'll come in and say, look, what's gone after 12 games has happened. It wasn't good enough. But right, now we start from fresh. And yes, you haven't got pre-season to drill this into them, but you've still got plenty of time now over the next few weeks with the games coming thick and fast to try and get something happening in and around the squad. And we've seen this group of players, let's get me wrong, under Enzo picking up how his system wants to work after one pre-season game. You saw how we were going to play. This bunch of team can pick it up. And when you've got leaders like Winks, Cody, Vardy, Vestergaard, Mads even, these big leaders in the team, these boys ain't going to let it slip and they're going to want to make sure that we're moving forward now, not backwards.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say as well, before is it Amarin? Going into Man United, a lot of Man United fans, even the likes of Mark Goldbridge, wanted and they didn't mind that Van Nistelrooy could have been their permanent manager. So you've got to see that again. Yes, he did well at PSV. Yes, he went into the Man United job and he was unbeaten. Like, don't get me wrong, Man United were in an awful state, and now he came in and within a couple of days he sorted them out. Yes, he didn't do much to them, but he got them in a position where they didn't lose, and that's the major thing for me as well. He doesn't need much time now until the Brentford game to even get a bit of a plan going and just even getting a bit of his style and philosophy into the team to know this is where we're starting. And I think that's the major part about it, Tom.
Definitely, man. I think that's the thing about it. He will bring his philosophy to the team very quickly, and if you're going to adapt to it and you get on with it, and I like to say, I don't think you'll see a nicey around the training ground if things aren't being done. He's not going to sit around. I think that's probably Cooper's biggest downfall. He was too nicey nice. He wanted to be. I think a bit like Rodgers was towards the end. He wanted to be everybody's mate, and you can't do that in football. You can't be everyone's mate if you're not going to pick them. People
You've
are
got
going
to
to
be
fall
the
out
man.
with you.
You've got to be the man in charge.
And you're the one who's leading the ship and you're driving it. So if you're the ones trying to be mates with everyone and letting them all have a turn, it's never going to work. Ruud ain't going to let anyone take the ship. He's going to drive it and he's going to want the success.
Yeah, the council here says he'll bring confidence back into the players. A really exciting appointment. Hey, it brings the confidence back in a lot of the fans who wanted Cooper out because, again, like Tom said, I said we were in a relegation battle now, but he's right. If Cooper was still in charge, I would have said we were definitely on a relegation battle. That's the difference. It means that's how confident I am now going into this Brentford game. Yes, it might not be an instant change with Ruud van Nistelrooy, but it just feels like a massive step forward in a way of there's every chance we can get a draw or a win against Brentford now. And that's from what I've looked at, Brentford have had all their 5 wins at home this season. So it's not going to be easy, but now Cooper's not here. I think it's a lot more a way easier game than it could have been for us. But I will get Jono in now just as well. Jono, mate.
I'm going to drop out now, mate, anyway, because I've got work to finish off. So cheers for having me on, guys. Take care. Speak to you soon.
Cheers. Jono, welcome to the show. Obviously, you've probably heard the news. Yes, it's not been 100% confirmed by the club, but everything is looking to Ruud. What's your take on this, mate?
I mean, I haven't been on since before Steve Cooper was sacked, and
oh yeah, I forgot that. What's your thoughts on Steve Cooper, mate?
I've not been on since we've even lost to Chelsea. So, but yeah, it's after that Chelsea game was so poor. Like, it wasn't the fact that we lost; it was the fact that there wasn't any fight. Like against Arsenal, even though we lost, we left that ground thinking we gave them a game. But that game was just abysmal. I think the club knew that, but I still blame the club. I think they made the wrong decision from the get-go. I think they shouldn't have made. I don't think it was the correct signing.
It feels like we've wasted 12 games now. Now that he's gone so quickly.
I wouldn't say that, because he's got to his position where we're out of the relegation zone. We've won a few games, but he couldn't have taken. I reckon he took us as far as he could get us. But this Ruud against us, when he had the job at Man U for a few games, did really well. Obviously, we were poor, but the fans were behind him, and the team obviously played for him. So I want that again. I want that for us. But Steve Cooper getting sacked, massive. I agree with it, and I think in 2 days to get another manager on board, well, hopefully by tomorrow, is good. If we sacked him and had no options, another horrific move by the club. But
yeah, but again, I would say this, and this is where a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you need to give him more time." They were saying you've got to be in the bottom 3 before you sack him. I was saying the complete opposite. I was saying that if you want to stay up, unlike when we did with Rodgers, you want to be in a position where
way too late.
But that's what I'm saying. You want to be in a position where it's probably earlier than you probably could have done it, because you probably could have gave Cooper the next 3 or 4 because they are easier games to play. But I'd rather be in this position now, out of the relegation zone, and a chance to progress up the table, than be in the relegation zone, scrapping to get out of it. So that's my take on it. Again, I get people saying that you probably should have still gave Cooper time, but as well as that, a lot of fans who aren't Leicester fans are on social media. They're questioning why Cooper went, and they were like, "He's done what he should be doing. You're not in the relegation zone." But I think you can only see the issues when you watch game after game or the whole 90 minutes every game, and you can see the issues that he did bring. Whereas someone like Ruud, we've been asking for someone more creative, like Enzo. We have found that, and I think the club wanted that. I think when Cooper went, they were honest in saying he wasn't. Top wasn't happy with him from the get-go. And it shows you now that now they do want to progress and look forward to a more progressive style of football, and that hopefully will come into Ruud. So what's your take on it?
Look at other managers. Look at Brighton. They've got a 31-year-old manager, Lee Carsley for England. You
Yeah,
know, they're not as in age, but they're young managers. They're not, I think young managers want to play exciting football. Steve Cooper's a safe manager. He plays teams that are safe. He doesn't. If you go back at every single formation on team setup, every single game, you wouldn't find two that are the same. You will not find
yeah,
two that are the same team. Now, that says to me that he's a manager that picks a team that can be safe or play safe against that team, which is fine. We won a few games, but look at Ipswich against Man U. Man U started scoring the first 2 minutes. I've said if that was Leicester, we would have capitulated.
hmm
But Ipswich came out and attacked them for 87 minutes and got an amazing draw. Like
yeah,
they easily should have won that game, and Cooper wouldn't have done that. And that's the United team thrashed us when Ipswich gave them a solid game.
yep.
So we need an exciting young manager, and as in career-wise, a young career manager, and I think we'll get that.
Yeah, exactly. I will bring this screen up that we've brought on Phil's show on Monday. Obviously, we kind of know who it's going to be now, but looking at the odds, Van Nistelrooy was 2-1. I think he was higher before, or maybe even he was a favourite before, but it was never really ever that high odds. So there was always a chance it was going to come in. I think if you had a choice, Jono, would you have gone for Moyes, or would you have gone for someone a bit more pragmatic like a Ruud van Nistelrooy?
I think with Van Nistelrooy, I think if we had, because before it, people were saying we didn't have a chance to get him because he wanted a big job.
Yeah.
But we need a manager who I don't want to become a Premier League team that's just safe at the bottom half of the table. That's just safe. I don't want to be a team that just sits there being safe. I want a team that can compete. I want a team that's exciting. I rather like. I want a team that's exciting, pressing the ball, attacking the ball, not a team where we're just staying back and just kind of being, I'm bored of safe. I'm bored of just staying. I don't want to be a team that's just staying up every season. I don't want to be a Burnley. I don't want to be, an Everton. I want to be a mid-table team that's competing and can compete with the big boys.
Yeah, exactly. Mark here also says, I hope you're praising him 6 to 12 games in as you are now. I pray too. Hope first time Ruud has not had the talent he has under disposal before. Again, I always see it as a style of play. If you've got the players, yes, people might not agree that we do have the player quality, but the style of play is a start, and that's where you have to do it. And we do hope that we are praising him within after 6 to 12 games, because we gave Cooper 12 games, and I honestly, about from the 8th game in, it just wasn't there for me. And even like I say, the likes of Ipswich, the likes of Southampton, yes, we beat Southampton, and we did draw to Ipswich, but we looked worse this season against them teams than we did last season. And yes, they're different level of quality with Championship, but both teams, other than a few players left or whatnot, we were near enough the same squads, and we just looked 10 times worse than we did. We looked like we bossed Southampton last year, and we struggled in the first half against them this year. So we needed to get someone else in. We have got somebody else in, and that is Ruud van Nistelrooy. Hopefully, tomorrow morning, hopefully it'll be announced. I don't think it'll be announced tonight, but final comments, Jono, before we do finish the show. What is your take on Ruud van Nistelrooy?
I mean, if it's confirmed, it has to be confirmed tomorrow, because I think they'll have just enough time to implement some tactics for the game against Brentford. But if he does get appointed, I think it's a brilliant move by the club. I think once he got released from United, I think that was the cue for Leicester to sack Cooper. I think they saw opportunity and they're taking it. I think they're thinking, hang on, would we risk Cooper and risk going down into the abyss of the relegation zone, or we sack Cooper after his abysmal performance and try and get a manager who rallied United to a few decent wins? So I think it's a really good appointment.
I'm glad that we were the first team to sack the manager because again, Ipswich could have done
Second
it.
team,
Why? Who was the first?
Ten Hag.
Sorry. Yes, I mean like the bottom lot. I'm going to go. I was
Okay,
talking about
yeah,
the bottom
okay,
lot. Again,
okay.
I'm glad we were the first at the lot at the bottom to do it. Because
Relegation candidates.
Southampton could have sacked their manager and gone for someone like Ruud. You've got someone like Ipswich who, yes, I think they'll stick with him because in the position they're in, I think they'll be happy to be wherever they are in the Premier League, even if they do get relegated, because they were a League One side. But I'm glad we were the first to do it because someone else could have took Ruud, someone else could have took the other two managers that we were linked with. But I'm glad we had the first choice of it, and Ruud is the man that's coming in. Very quickly, out of 10, what would you say the quality of Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be?
Right now, probably a 6. I think as a new manager, I think he's got to find his way, but I think he has to just be a 9. I think he knows the game. He knows what it's like to be under pressure. He played for played for Manchester United. That's pressure. So he knows pressure situations. He knows egos. He probably was an ego when he played. So I think he has and I don't think, as Tom was saying earlier, he'll say how it is. He's not a friend. He's a manager, and he'll say how it is. If you're playing like crap, you're out. You're out. He's got to play his way, or else that's it. He's not a buddy. So yeah, I think it'd be a great appointment, and I think he is a manager like Brendan who can. I think he could stay for a while and hopefully can steady the ship and keep us consistent.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say, and it's kind of true. Yes, he has managed more than Enzo, but he is unproven in a sense that he's not proven in the league before. Unless you count the 4 games that you're going unbeaten against Leicester twice and Chelsea. He drew to Chelsea as well, so you can't forget that. But I think it's a decent appointment. I think out of the managers we could have got, I think he was my second choice. I think Potter was my first, but I don't think that was going to happen. Ruud van Nistelrooy was second, and Moisey was third, just because he's probably a safe option. But I'm glad we didn't go for him over Ruud. But John, go on.
Before we go, I just want to say, I think if he gets appointed, I think the crowd's going to be very loud, very, very loud against Brentford. I think the team's going to be buzzing. If he does come in tomorrow, Brentford's going to see a different Leicester we've not shown all season. So I'm happy.
Can't wait, mate. Appreciate you coming on, Jono. We'll catch you hopefully soon on one of the shows, and we'll catch you soon.
Yep. See you later, man.
See you in a bit. There you go, guys. As you can see, Mr. Ruud van Nistelrooy is hopefully coming to the club. As all the confirmation is there right now from all the sources. I'll bring all the sources again, as you can see here. Mr. John Percy says Ruud van Nistelrooy is set to be appointed as the Leicester City manager. Expected to confirmation soon, hopefully in the morning. I'm not too sure when. I don't think it'll be tonight, unless we post very late. And also Fabrizio Romano, the here we go man. I'm surprised he's not said here we go, because there could be changes. But Ruud van Nistelrooy is set to complete as the new Leicester City head coach. See, this is where I'm looking at it and thinking, is there something between head coach and head manager? Or is Fabrizio Romano just said coach, even though it might be a manager? I don't know. Because there is a difference between head coach and head manager. I don't know. Don't believe it until the club comes in. I get that, and I will just change it back to the graphic because I can't see me anymore. We will be there, really. Of course we will, mate. And actually, I can't bloody wait. For once, I can go to a Leicester game and actually be excited to have a chance in winning the game. Because under keeper, that was not going to happen. And this has all happened with Potter before. I get that. But John Percy tweeted it. I don't think John Percy tweeted the Potter stuff before. But hey-oh. 0 chance we've swapped super Kieran McKenna for Robin Van Persie. Not Van Persie, sorry, Robin Van Nistelrooy. Why do I keep saying Robin? It's because it's Robin Van Persie instead of Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Boys, you're welcome to him. Mate, you're happy with Kieran McKenna. Of course you are. That's all it takes. And then that is it, guys. Let's resign to Cooper Boys. Resign Cooper Boys. No, I'm okay, thank you. I would rather not. Italian call managers, head coaches. Okay, that's why. All right then, guys. Appreciate you coming in as always. Appreciate it. David Chapman says 7 out of 10. Hopefully 10 out of 10 by the end of the season. Can't wait, mate. Can't wait. And there you go. As you can see on the screen, this is Ruben. Why do I keep saying Ruben? Ruud van Nistelrooy has hopefully officially signed for the club. Appreciate you coming in, guys, and we'll catch you all on the next show. Of course, keep all Leicester City, keep all Leicester on TV, and we'll catch you on the next show. See you in a bit, guys.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.